What is up, everybody? All right. Well, what's happening here? All right. So here's what's happening. Thank you for joining me here in the rod locker of my Team StarCraft Delta 188 DC Pro. I'm at my dock. I'm going to visit some friends today up on the St. Lawrence River and go out and fish with them on their boat, their beautiful pontoon that they bought from Crenza Marine. So we'll get more into that when I get up there. But like you can't take the whole. There's 12 rods in there. You can't take the whole rod locker. So what do you take with you for what? Real quick, I'm going to tell you what I'm taking and why. So I'm going up to visit my friend Eric and Sue, and we're going to be drifting for smallmouth and the famous St. Lawrence River. So in the depth, in the currents, you can do a lot of different things, and depending on where you are. So first and foremost, I have a drop shot rod. For me, that is the JT Rods Black Rain 7.3 medium. It's got a great tip to it. I have it with the Tennessee handle, so I can adjust where my hand is. And this is my go-to drop shot rod for every. This is my drop shot rod. So that's definitely going with me because you can pitch that drop shot, you can drag it, you can adjust your weights on the dropper. I have them all the way up to 2 ounces for the currents up there. Second is the swim bait rod. And if you say smallmouth, I say swim baits. Smallmouth, swim baits, smallmouth, swim baits. Anyway, and this is new this year from JT. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that the 7-foot Panhandler ultralight is my swim bait rod. And it still is, and I love that rod. I just caught about an 18-pound carp on it just the other day out here on Oneida that woofed a swim bait. But this rod right here, this Panhandler 8-foot ultralight, brand new for 2025 from JT Rods, is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's a different blank. I thought it was just going to be the same blank longer. It's not. It's got an unbelievable bend, full parabolic arc, but it's got enough tip that it launches baits. And this right here, and this has been so hot for me. This is a Salmo UV perch. It's their soft swim bait series. The head is an unpainted B hammer tackle swim bait head. That little perch right there has been deadly. Smallmouth, walleyes, doesn't matter. They have just annihilated it this year. So anytime, I'm fishing it all day long, and it's a UV glow coating on it. This thing launches, this rod. This rod absolutely launches. This is a Lew's carbon fiber on here. Nice reel. With, I'm not sure what line this is I put on there. I was out of master braid. All my master braid is yellow. And I was waiting on some, so I had to fill this reel. But it launches well outside your electronics arc. I love this rod. So bringing the swim bait rod because we're going to be somewhere near smallmouth, which you have to, in my opinion, have that. And then this is also new this year. This is the JT Rods GTX series. This is the 7.6 mag light or medium light. This is a new size, the 7.1, which is was my absolute favorite finesse rod for like Ned and whatnot, until I got this one. And that little extra length really makes a difference, and not just that's what she said. It's just a little different feel, and it's very fast. It transfers that bite so well through that skeleton handle. It's perfectly fit, the handle, so all four of your fingers are in front of it, so you've increased the speed of that rod already, as opposed to, being behind the reel seat or some semblance of, fingers like this. I have all my fingers up here because it's just everything reacts quicker. I feel that bite and it's funk, instant. This is a Great Lakes Juvie Craw. I have fallen in love with this company this year. I don't have any affiliation with them. I have seen their product, and when they first came out with these matte finishes, it really intrigued me. And I've caught fish with, I've got about 6 colors, I think, of them. This one is my favorite. I don't even know, green, pumpkin, purple flake, I guess. I don't know. This one has been my favorite on Oneida, and the St. Lawrence has worked equally well on both. And so it's a Juvie Craw. It's 2.5 inches long. It's a tube, is what it is. With an internal. I've got a pill head in there. I don't know that it matters. I've put tube jigs in there. I've put football heads in there to give it that little fatter note of butt profile. Maybe, I don't know. But this rod is incredible. So these are the 3 rods I'm taking with me up there. And I'll be back when I get some baits out. I'm not taking the kitchen sink. Well, I might, but it irrelevant. I'll take one small bag, maybe a couple boxes in a bag. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I narrowed down my travel bag to five items. I've got a bag of various types of craw. You name it. If it's got claws on it, it's supposed to look like a crayfish, and I own it, it's in that bag. This is tubes. Self-explanatory. You really can't fish anywhere without a tube. Even though sometimes it can be a little dull and boring, and you're like, it's a tube. Tubes work. I couldn't imagine going to. I smashed fish on them on Lake Erie. I always have a tube rigged up on a rod on Ontario and the St. Lawrence. And really anytime I'm targeting smallmouth specifically, I've got a tube rigged and ready to roll. And this is just straight tail stuff, drop shot baits to go with my drop shot rod and be flying around. I got to clean this thing up because it's grubby. This is my, I don't know what you call it. It's my junk box. It's like the junk drawer in your kitchen. But it's all fishing stuff. Leader, any of my terminal stuff, some specialty hooks in there, drop shot weights, scissors, pliers, randomness, some bait lube down in there, jig heads, you name it. But that's the junk drawer that goes with me, and you gotta, if you're like me, you gotta have it, because all my terminal stuff's in there, rigging stuff, whatever I need. And this is my swim bait box. You got a little bit of everything. It's my swim bait. It's my plastics box. Some pre-rigged baits. A couple other colors of that Great Lakes Finesse Juvie Craw. That one is a green pumpkin red flake, and that one's, I think they call it fire craw. Let's see. A little mini Rage Cross Straight King on a B hammer tackle hammerhead football jig. B makes nice jigs. This is another one of his that I sloppily tied. Look at that. I'll tell you, fish love purple. I don't care what kind of fish they are. That is an old school Power Team Lures craw. That's smallmouth candy right there. I always have a complete section for the Kitech spider grubs. That, I mean, again, that's rigged on a hammerhead jig head, but these Kitech spider grubs will catch anything, anywhere. They come in a couple different sizes, you know, from trout to bass to walleyes to panfish to you name it, they'll eat it. A few curly tail grubs in here. Some marabou jigs for casting. And then swim baits, colors, sizes, extras. Sometimes, you know, when you're up in the St. Lawrence, there's current. So I fish a VMC hook on my drop shot rig that spins, so it's always, you know, down of the current. Up there, you know, you can easily put a swim bait and very effectively put a swim bait on a drop shot rig and have it run true downstream at all time like this and tracking. Very, very effective. Straight tail baits, same way. So this is so that's what I'm going to put in a duffel bag. Those are going to get sleeves on them and get put in the truck, and going to get out of here. All right. What's up, Duck? Big algae bloom here in the river. It's that time of year. Everything's very still the last couple days. Everything's just kind of laying around. So, pretty good to get up there and see the St. Lawrence. All right.